Hi guys, welcome to Charity's Bubble. I'm here. I'm gonna give it a few minutes for people to join me, and I hope you can hear me well. Like I said, we were gonna have a live show today, and we're here. We are gonna wait for a little bit. There we go for the live show, guys. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of time. One person there, type and let me know where you're watching me from. Type there and tell me where you're watching me from. I'm trying to adjust my light here. I can see one person there. And I'm trying to play with my camera here so that it can be good. There, I think that's good. One person, type there. I'm gonna give it like, how many minutes? It's 12:01. I'm gonna give it like 4 minutes, 4 more minutes. And then I'm gonna acknowledge some people. I hope that you have been doing fine. I hope you have been doing fine. I don't know what time it is, wherever you are. You can type there and tell me what time it is. I see people are coming on. We're gonna give it 5 minutes to see who's gonna be there. It's been a while, guys. I haven't done a show in a while. I see some people are coming on. 9 people. We're gonna give it 5 minutes, guys, and then we're gonna have a discussion. 3 more minutes, guys. I hope you're doing fine. Type your name there. Tell me if you can hear me well, and tell me if you can see me very well. And I'm gonna acknowledge you here in 3 minutes. 10 people, guys. Thank you for joining me to this live show. Thank you for joining me. It's Christmas spirit. It's Christmas spirit. It's been snowing around here. I'm gonna post a video tomorrow. Yeah, so I see some people are coming on. It's been a while, and I'm gonna acknowledge you here in a little bit. As we go on, I hope you have been doing fine. I'm very fine, guys. And if you have a question, please type it there. I'm going to talk about some of the things that you have been asking me. I know I haven't done a live show in like forever, but at the beginning of, I think like 3 months ago, I came on and I told you guys I'm going to hold on a little bit on my live shows because I went back to school, and I'm going to tell you if I passed this semester or if I failed. So 10 people, we have 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to acknowledge some people who are live there. I hope you can hear me well. Tell me where you are, and I am going to acknowledge you there. So I see some people coming on. I hope you are ready for Christmas. For you, it's a few hours to Christmas, as we still have some more time. It's 12:03 p.m. It's noon here, so it's still during the day. We are doing some preparations. 12 people. Gonna wait until 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna acknowledge people. Type there if you want me to mention your name. I never miss anybody. If you type there and tell me where you are, I am gonna call out your name and wish you Merry Christmas. How are you guys? I see some people are coming on there on the live show, and I'm gonna put you on my screen. 15 people, guys. We have 1 more minute, and then I'm gonna acknowledge people here. Let's see who was the first person. Gonna scroll down here. Takes a while, guys, and I do appreciate you coming on to the live show, and I also want to appreciate you for watching my latest video about the girl that I'm hosting. So let's see, 12:04 p.m. in 1 minute. I'm gonna start acknowledging some people. I'm gonna put you on my screen, and you're gonna see your name there. You know, there was a time that I was doing this live show, and this person kept on texting and texting. She was like, Charity, I haven't seen my name there. So you get a privilege when you type there, guys. And please like my video. Please share it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not subscribed, guys. That is the support that you can give me. 12:05 p.m. So let's see who is on. Adija Dayo. I hope I have pronounce your your name correctly. Hi, Charity Babo. Thank you for joining me, Adija, and Merry Christmas. And then, so I don't know where he's, but I think he typed another message. So let's see, Sadia Noor in Somalia. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. Michael Wahu from Juja, Kenya. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. Kenyan Samurai watching from Thika. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. Let me see, Mary Mwangi. Hi, Charity, watching from Roiro, Kiambu. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. Sadia Naor. Hi, Charity Babu. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing well. Yes, I am doing perfect, guys. I am doing perfect, and thank you for joining. Mary Mwangi is saying that it's 9:02 p.m. in Kenya. Right now here, it's 12 noon, 12:05 actually. RM Wangari, watching from 254. Merry Christmas, Charity, and your family. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. I do have Christine Wawi. I hope it's Christine. Hello, Charity. Live from Isipe Kasarani. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. Adija is telling me it's loud and clear, sister. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. Makeup by V. Hello, Charity. Live from Machakos. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. Yeah, we are doing good. Thank you for that. Joyfrey Nambwaya, live from Kakamega. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. I can see 17 people there. If you haven't liked this video, guys, like it, and also go back and like the others that you haven't liked, and you haven't subscribed. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I can see my sister is calling me from Kenya, so I'm gonna ignore that for a little bit because I am live. Michael Komishwa, hello Charity, just here in Uganda, gearing up for Christmas. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. So before that, let me tell you your name. Sometimes I always forget my name. My name is Charity Nganga. This is Charity's Bubble USA. We are doing a Christmas edition here just to wish you a Merry Christmas. And if you have any question, and I'm going to talk about some of the things that have come up that I haven't ignored them, but I've been so busy, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Merry Christmas, Mrs. Francis from Weki. Betty Kills, thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. Simon from Uganda, thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. Charles Wambo, hello, Merry Christmas. Kenya, Nairobi, thank you for joining me. And then I do have watching from Kamulu, Merry Christmas from the Kiragos family. That is Miriam Wanjiro. Thank you, and Merry Christmas. Guys, it's been an honor. And I know I really do appreciate that you have still been watching my videos, even if I wasn't able to post a lot of videos, simply because I told you that I went back to school. And when you go back to school and you're a parent, there is so much that's going on. Let me see another person here coming on, wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas. Thank you for that, and Merry Christmas, Michael. So I went back to school, guys, and I passed this semester. I was so stressed, like really, 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 really stressed. It was so hard. So I had to work extra hard, guys. I was very, very stressed, but I thank God that I passed this semester. So I only have one more, and then I am going to graduate, guys. So I am very, 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 very much excited. And I also thank you for continuing watching my videos, even if I wasn't able to post like I used to post before, a lot of videos. I really do appreciate that you still watch my videos and you are patient enough just to to bear with me, guys. So thank you for your support. Also, let's see if there's another person. Kasadi Akanga, Merry Christmas, Charity from Funyula, Busia, Kenya. We like your positive vibes. Thank you for that, Kasadi. And then I do have Venus Airways. Merry Christmas to you, Madam Charities Babu. Following from Nax, Vegas City in Kenya. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. We will always be watching your video, Madam. Thank you, Simon, for that, and Merry Christmas. Venus Airways, Merry Christmas to you, Madam Charities Babu. Following you from Nax. I think I read that one. Nax, Vegas City, Kenya. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. And Adija is watching me from Nakuru, Asiri. So, yeah, so I passed my test, and I am so excited about that. So I only have one more semester, and I am ready for that. So Mary Mwangi is telling me congratulations for passing your exams. Let me tell you guys, here in the US, and that's what I was telling Anne, the girl that I'm hosting. I'm calling her a girl because she's young and everything. For you to succeed when you're living here in the US, is you have to look for something that by the time you are 10 years old in the US, you're not struggling so much, you're not working so many hours. so that you can meet your daily needs. You see what I mean? Because when you come here in the US, normally what happens is that you start very low, you get a job that you have to work maybe very many hours, or maybe you feel like you're working so hard, but you're not passing your tests. And that is why I decided I was going to go back to school. I have 4 children, guys. I have 4 children, and I don't want to be working very, very, very hard when I'm older. So I was like, I'm going to go to school. And that is why I always come here to encourage you guys. First of all, number one, I came here by green card. I did a show. I've done several shows with people who have come here by green card. And that's why I encourage you. Fill it out and have that faith. And when you come to live here in the US, you must have something, guys, that 10 years later, you will look back and say, I did good for myself. And that is what I am trying to do, guys. And that is why I like to encourage you guys. I've gotten a lot of feedback from people who are anticipating, and also some other people who have won the green card. And I just wish you well, guys. I can wish you well. Let me read some more comments here. Congrats to you, Charity, for passing. That is Michael. Thank you for that. Please, ma'am, how about an accounting career in the USA? Now, there's one thing that I normally say, that when you come to the US, and regarding to whatever career that you are doing there, where you were, when you graduated, or when you get a certificate or a diploma or whatever, when you come here in the US, first of all, you forget about that. Yeah, the first few, maybe 1 year or 2 years, you first of all forget about that. You do the work that is available. And then, because you have your accounting career, you have your transcripts. Of course, you're gonna have them reviewed. There's a certain organization that you send them to, your transcript. They review them, and then they send them to a college that you are applying. When they send them there, when you go there, you get someone called an advisor. So normally what the advisor is going to tell you is like, this is what you have, and this is what we require you to do, or for you to continue with this path. You see what I mean? So you cannot come from Africa at this moment. You are an accountant. That's good. You have your degrees. That's good. But you cannot come and get an accounting job immediately. It doesn't work like that. But you can still pursue that career. The only one that I know that you come in and you can come and start practicing if you are a registered nurse. If you're a registered nurse, what they require to do, they require you to study a little bit, and then you do an exam, and then you can be licensed. That is, you are a registered nurse. But when you have these other courses, you are an accountant. Even for a doctor, they still have to go to school for a little bit for them to be able to pursue what they want. So you find that when you come here, I want you to come with the expectation, yes, I went to school, but I have to start with something different, and then I can go back to school a little bit. They tell me what I need to do so that you can get licensed, or you can get that degree or that diploma for you to practice whatever that you are doing, Simon. So I hope that I was able to answer that very well. So Jerry Davis, thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas. Jerry from Chinganga, watching you from Kiambu. Nikiuza Maziwa, thank you. Yeah, it's good to work very, very hard. Congratulations. That is Adija. Let me see. Betty Kims, were you doing nursing RN? I hear it's fire, especially the NCLEX exams. Yes, yeah, I am doing. Like I told you, for my studying, I split it into several portions. First of all, you start with your prereqs. Those are the general education classes that you have to do before you get into the program. And then when I went into the program, I didn't go direct to do my RN. I went and became an LPN, a licensed practical nurse. I am still a nurse, but I do not have that degree. And then after that one, I did it for 1 year. And then now this one, I have to do it. Actually, I have done 2 semesters, and then it is going to be my 3rd semester, and then I am going to graduate and get my RN. So you decide, but you still can think that I'm going to go and do the whole thing. That's going to take you like 3.5 to 4 years, depending on how you do your prerequisites. But you have to be dedicated. I'm telling you, nursing school, you have to like forget about everything that's around you and study. Because if you do not study, it's very, 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 very hard to fail. But if you do well in your nursing school, if you do well, and they have a certain pass mark that you have to pass, you have to reach a certain grade. And if you don't get that grade, then you repeat. And that is, I find that nursing school is a little bit, it has different areas. You have your clinicals, you have your homework, and you have your exams. Now, they grade your exams differently. Like the exams that you do, the tests, those ones are graded differently. And right now, I've looked at so many colleges here around Wichita, Wichita, Kansas, and most of them, you have to get like a 78% for you to progress. There are some which is 80%, there are some which is 82%, but you're not going to find one that is lesser than 78%. No, you're not going to do that. So, but if you get to that threshold, whatever they want in your tests, then it's going to be a little bit easier for you to pass the NCLEX because they have prepared you very well. So if you want to come here to the US and you want to do nursing, you have to be dedicated. Another thing, you have to have 100% support. Like as someone who is supporting you 100%. Like for me, my husband supports me like 100% because you are not going to be able to work. You have to accept that part that you're going to be so broke for that time, and then you work very hard, and then you get to there. But it's doable, guys. It's doable. You can do it, and I champion everybody. When you come here, you don't really have to do maybe nursing or whatever. I was talking to another lady. We went to a graduation for another guy who had graduated for engineering, and then she was like, "At least now we have an engineer." And then I was like, "Yeah, because everything is nursing. Everything is nursing." It's good to be a nurse, but all the courses that you're doing when you enter the program, you have to work very, very hard. So Michael Kamisa is asking me, what did you study for? I'm studying to become a registered nurse. Okay. Mrs. Swag, Merry Christmas. Good to hear from you after a long time, and congratulations for passing your exams. Thank you for that. I do appreciate. Now, kindly, does a 19-year-old need a consent? That is Christine Wawi, and I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about something else that was asked about. You've won your green card, you have your family members, but you do not have money enough to be able to process everything. Now, this is how it works. And I need you to get it very clear that when you win your green card with your family, you must fill out a DS-260 for every family member. Now that one, it's not, that one, there is no exception. The only exception is that after you have processed and you have gotten your visa, you can indicate in your DS-260 that you're going to travel alone, and then your family members are going to follow you later. But what the processing, they're going for the medical, they're going for the interview, is gonna be the whole bunch of you. Because if you win right now, the family members are called derivatives, and it goes together. All of you have to go together. Now, the 19-year-old does not need a consent. Actually, even an 18-year-old does not need a consent. And that question of a consent, you find that maybe you had a child and the other spouse was not there. You require just a document from maybe a lawyer from the court to say that you are the sole person who takes care of that child. They need that in writing. You cannot go and say that by word of mouth that this is my child and whatever. No, they are not going to agree to that. So 19-year-old, no. 18-year-old, no. Those are adults. The moment someone reaches 18, that's an adult. You don't need no consent for those ones. And actually, what I was telling you guys is that when someone is 18 years old, they can do their own separate application. That gives them it gives them more chances, because you can still apply for them when they are below 21 years old, and they can do their own separate application. And then like I was saying, maybe let's assume like your child is in high school, but they are in Form 4. So when they are in Form 4, maybe they are going to be 18, maybe by the time they finish, maybe they will be 18 in December, or they will be 18 in January. If they are turning 18, that is before May of when we check the results, it's very important for you to encourage them to do the application. Because when they do the application, and you as a parent have done an application and included them, if they win, by the time the green card is going to come out, they will already be 18. An 18-year-old is an adult. So they are able to process for themselves and come live in the US, because an 18-year-old is an adult. So it's very, very important for you to know that. But you don't need consents for 18 years old. Those are adults. They are termed as adults. So Michael Wahoo is saying, congratulations, mom. I personally love your videos. Thank you for your support and Merry Christmas. Okay. Now, Agudu Mohammed is asking, is it necessary to add work experience in the DV lottery when you have a high school certificate? No, it's not. You only need work experience if you do not have a high school certificate. And guys, it's very, very important for you to know that when it comes to work experience, and I think I'm gonna make an announcement when I'm gonna do my next live show, and we are gonna look sample the work experience that is needed. When I look at that website, and if you go scroll through my videos, I have so many. I think I have more than 200 uploads. But if you go back there's some videos that I have done about work experience. When you go to that website, most of the jobs that come up there, most people, they have either they have gone to high school, they have a degree, and they have all that. So what I can say, or my best advice is, if you have that high school certificate, you are good. You don't need any work experience. But let's say, for example, you didn't go to high school, which is okay. But maybe your spouse went to high school. You can still have your spouse apply as the main applicant, and then you are a second applicant. You see what I mean? You can still claim from your spouse, because I perused so much, and I was looking at it, and I was like, most of the work experience that is there, it's either they have a degree, either they have gone to high school, because it has to be a certain job level, and it has to be a certain SVP. We are going to talk about that in a different video, because I don't want to mix up stuff. So it's very, very important for you to know. I'll put a lipstick on my nose. It's very, very important for you to know very, very well. And because there was another one, was like, I reached form two, and I wasn't, can I apply? It is going to disqualify you unless you have a very good work experience. And sometimes it doesn't work out. And we are going to do that on a live show. I'm going to bring up that website. We'll look at the whatever. Even hairdressing, it doesn't qualify. It does not qualify. So we're going to do that in a different, because it's a long thing. Okay. Yes, Ma Simon, I appreciate your answer. Thank you for that. Now, Adija is asking, tell us about community college requirement and admission and how to get it. Now, when you come to the US as a permanent resident or with a green card, as a green card holder, what you do, of course, you had your Form 4 certificate, right? Or you had maybe the other courses that you had done, or maybe you have gone to the university, whatever that you have your transcripts. So those transcripts, when you come here, they will have them to be verified. And like I told you, there's a website that you send them. And I remember mine, I sent them to a website called Spantran or something. So when they verify your documents, they send them to the college that you are applying. So when they send them, of course, you have applied online, or maybe you have called and then you have had an online interview, or you have gone in person. Here you have different options. You can go in person and walk into a college and tell them you want to be admitted. You can apply online, and then they email you, and then they tell you, do you want a phone appointment, or do you want a live appointment, like like the way we are live right here, or do you want to go in and walk in? It depends on what you want. Then when you go, they look at your transcript. They see this is what you have done, the equivalency of the US education. This is what you have done, and then they tell you, these are the general education classes that you have to do, because you have to do general education classes before you enter into any program. And general education is like, maybe they'll have you do English, they will have you do math, they will have you do like maybe public speaking, all that. And sometimes it's not very, very hard. Most people from Africa do not struggle. They don't struggle with those classes. The only thing that I can tell you that you'll struggle, and I struggled myself, is English grammar. English grammar sometimes is a little bit harder, because you find that some of the words that are used here in the US, the US English and the other English that we speak in Africa, some of the words are a little bit different. Sometimes you will not know the meaning of a word, but if you read more, you get used to the stuff and you know. And then after that, after you have passed your classes, they require a certain GPA, not very, very high. Maybe it can be maybe a 2.5 GPA. And then you will choose the course that you want, the program that you want to go to. And every program has its own requirements. Maybe they will require you to do an entrance test. Like, for example, I like to talk about what I'm doing right now, because I'm doing nursing. When you do your prerequisites and you're going to do you want to enter the program, there's an exam that you have to do called a TIS test. or a Kaplan test, whereby they will test you on they will test you on science, they will test you on math, and they will test you on English. And then after you have qualified, then you will be sent for a letter for you to enter a certain program. So it is not very hard. And sometimes it's good to go to a community college, because community colleges are more cheaper than if you go to a university. For example, if I go to a community, right now I'm going to a community college. When I look at the money that I am paying, and the money that I would pay into a university it varies, it ranges. So you can go to a community college, and if you want to advance more, maybe do your masters and all that, then you can transfer your credits. Credits are the classes that you have done, you transfer them, and you take them to the university that you want to go to. You can do online, especially most masters people do them online, and then you'll be good. But it's good. There is no like a complex way to do the application to enter into a community college. It's easy, guys. It's very, very, very easy. Okay. So do you study and work at the same time? Guys, when I was going to school last semester, I did not work. I wasn't able to. I tried to work, guys, but actually I quit the second week. I quit my job, because you have to do homework. You have to study. Like I was looking at my workload for like in 2 weeks, you're supposed to study like 8 topics, and then you're supposed to review everything, and then you're supposed to do a test. When are you going to go to work? And when you go to work, you go like 8 hours, or you go to 12 hours. If you go to work, you are in work mode. So you're not going to study when you're at work, because as a nurse, when I go to work and I have my patients that I am taking care of, I will not think about my studies. So there are some courses that they recommend you not to work at all. And that's why I'm saying it's very, very important for you to have a good support system. Now, let's look at a person who is single, because it varies, guys. Maybe you are single and you're young. You can work and you can go to school at the same time, because you don't have so many responsibilities. But when you are a parent, you have small kids, you have school, you have all this going on, sometimes it's going to be very, very hard for you to work. But it all depends. You can decide, I'm not going to work so many hours, full-time job, I'm going to work part-time. You can work part-time. But for me, I wasn't able to, guys. I was so stressed, guys, like I wasn't able to work. Okay, let's look at Irene Gomba is asking, do one need their clinic card in the US? What if it got lost a long time ago? I don't know what clinic card you're talking about, Irene. If you type that question again, maybe I will be able to answer it for you. Any WhatsApp or Telegram on Charities Bubbles group? Now, I don't have a group, guys. I don't have a group. Actually, I like to be contacted by Charities Bubble fan page. That is my official page. Or maybe you contact me at Charity Nganga. I have 2 Facebook pages. If you inbox me there, I am going to answer your question. I had a WhatsApp group, guys. Actually, I had 2 WhatsApp groups. But they started being a lot of conflict. I don't know. Some people don't like each other. Some people are posting stuff that, is irrelevant to what I do. And I wasn't able to control a crowd. So I was like, if someone wants to reach me individually, inbox me on Charities Bubble fan page, and I can type here. That's my Facebook handle. Let me type here for you so that you can find me, and you text me there. If you text me there, I will reply your message. I won't reply immediately, but I will reply it. That's for sure. I will reply your message. So let's see. Let me write for you. Charities Bubble fan page. Okay, let's see. Page. Oh my gosh, let's see. Page. Okay, well, I put that one up there so that you can see. Now that's my Facebook page. You can reach me there and text me. I will reply it. Don't expect me to reply immediately. Even if it takes 1 day or 2 days, I am going to reply. I always go back and reply my messages. So that's how I prefer to be reached, because the group was chaos, guys. I did try. The first years, by my YouTube channel now is 1 year and some months old. I started to interact with people, but it became so difficult, and I don't like conflict. And if you can't control something, if you feel like you cannot control something, and that's when I was going to school, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. But if you want to reach me through that, and I am gonna do You justice. I will answer whatever you want me to answer for you. Okay. So I don't have that. So reach me there, Irene, and you'll reach me. Okay. Hi, Jacqueline Mawamba. Thank you for joining me. Merry Christmas. Okay. Medical card that shows the vaccinations that want to. If you have that one, it's okay. Take it with you. When you're going for your medical. If you don't have it, if you don't have record, I normally tell you like US is about records. You have proof of something. You have something that is written that is proof. Then you'll end up having so many vaccinations, which is okay. You'll be fine, but there will be many. So if you don't have that one, then brace yourself because they will give you more more vaccinations because you have to be vaccinated when you're coming to the US. So that because you're coming to a different environment, the weather here is very very different. Like right now, it's very very cold. Like in the morning, it was like -2. It was very very cold. So you find that you will need those ones for your own health. So if you don't have that one, it's okay, but know that they are going to give you a lot of injections. Okay. Can one join GAD classes and be able to get healthcare center to get to the healthcare center after completion? Yes, you can. You can. And this is, for example, if you had come in and your spouse was you had come in and your spouse was the one who was the primary applicant. So if you had come in and your spouse was the primary applicant, you can go to school. I don't know if you can see me. I want to change something on my account here, but I hope that you can still hear me. I'm trying to change something here in a minute, but I'm still here, guys. So you can still go and then you do with your you start school, you go do your GED. They do not discriminate, guys. They don't discriminate. I'm trying to put this video where it can be seen well because I'm not sure if it's being seen well. There we go. Good. Oh, sorry about that. I had to put my video where it could be seen very well. I realized that I didn't put it where it's supposed to be on YouTube. So you can go to school, especially if your spouse was the one who had reached Form 4 and you hadn't reached Form 4. You come and start where you can start. What I tell you is that in the US, there is no discrimination. People go to school even when they are 50 years old, they are 60 years old, and they still pass and they still succeed. So the sky is the limit, guys. If I told you my age and I'm going to school, you'll be shocked. Some of you look at me and they think that I'm 20 years old. I'm not. Okay, now let's see. What are the documents a marriage couple should have when they win the DV lottery? Your marriage certificate. That one, you must have it. Your marriage certificate. Now, it doesn't matter whether you were married, maybe you are married a customary marriage, which is okay. So if you are married a customary marriage, and I like you guys to go back and watch my videos because you get a lot of insight when you watch my previous videos. There's a video that I did with a guy who won a green card, and he had not gotten a marriage certificate with his wife. But when they won the DV lottery, what he did is that he went and got a marriage certificate, and they went and they were good. So you need your marriage certificate when you win your DV lottery. Okay. Now, what happens when you fall sick? Immediately you land to the US. And if I say you are kind of fall sick, will I access medical attention immediately, or do you have to wait until you get SSN and the green card? You can go to the ER. You can go to the ER and be treated, and then they can bill you. Remember, you are living with your host, so maybe your host is going to take you to the hospital, and then of course your name will be there and all that. But you can go, and also if you don't go to the ER, because sometimes ER they are ridiculously expensive. Sorry about that, but they are ridiculously expensive. You can go to there is some hospitals that are for low-income people. Maybe whereby you can be seen and you pay like $30, or maybe you pay like $50. There are some even that you don't have anything, and those ones are sponsored by the church that you can go and you don't pay anything, and you're being seen by the doctor. So you're not gonna die because you don't have a social security number. There are so many resources here that you get, especially if you have a problem. So because you're not going to get your social immediately, you're going to come in and then you will go to get the social. Maybe they'll tell you 5 to 7 days, and then they're going to send you the social, which is okay. But even if you don't have it, they will still treat you. You find that here, when you go to the hospital, like if I didn't have insurance and I went to the hospital, what happens? There's a certain law that protects patients, whereby if a patient shows up in an ER or they show up in the hospital and they don't have they don't have insurance, they must be treated. You cannot send them away because they don't have insurance. You can't do that. So you will be treated and then they will bill you later. So you are treated, maybe you didn't have all that stuff, and then they will send the bill in the address that you are in. So even if you don't have your SSN, they will send it to the address that you're living. And then here, like when you come here, there's that honesty, like there's that transparency. So you find that most people, you still go back because you will still get sick and you'll still want to go back to that hospital. So when they bill you and you don't have all that money to pay them, you can make a payment plan and you be paying them little by little. As long as you're paying, it's okay. It doesn't matter even if you're paying like $20 or whatever, as long as you're paying the debt. So you're not gonna die when you're sick. You'll be fine. Okay. Charity, sisi tulifanya KCSE 1996 tuko computerized ama tubebe certificates manually. Now, just carry your certificates. You have to carry them manually, you know what I mean? And then when you carry them manually, when you come here is when you're going to send them to whatever you have to, they have to be verified. So carry your certificates. I had mine. I still have mine right now. Okay. Mama Hart is saying, hi, Charity, love your work. Merry Christmas and may God continue to bless you. Thank you for that, Mama Hart. And Merry Christmas to you too. I have a question. When I was filling my green card, I added one letter in my name. What if I win? What can I do? It's not a big deal, guys. Sometimes it's not a very big deal. But if you feel like you don't feel comfortable and you feel like it's going to bring you a problem, I'm trying to get something from here. Excuse me for a minute. If you feel like it's going to bring you a problem, just get an affidavit saying that those are your names. It's not a big deal, you know. Like mine, I told you my name was Chariry. They messed up the T. So what I did, I just went and got an affidavit and that was good. And they didn't ask me nothing. Those are your names, you know. Okay, Simon, hello, ma. Please, if someone buy a house with mortgage after at two, he wants to sell the house, how can you settle the mortgage in the bank? Now, this is a good question, especially when you come to live in the US. You will rent a house, of course. That's the first thing that you will do. Rent an apartment, live there for 1-2 years, and then you'll be like, maybe you want to move out because you feel like you want a bigger house. But then when you go to the market to look at a bigger apartment to rent, you'll find that maybe it's costing like $1,000. That is here in Kansas, Wichita. So, but in other, it varies with the states. You can, if you go to live in New York and you want a small, maybe like just a small room with not even our bedroom. It's like a bed sitter. Maybe it can go up to $3,500. It depends on the state that you are in, guys. So here you look, you're like maybe a 3-bedroom apartment is going for $1,000. And maybe if you buy a house, the same range, you're still gonna pay the same mortgage. I find that most people opt to buy a house. There are some, when you come here, there are some Africans who are gonna tell you don't buy a house because a house has so many responsibilities. But for me, I'd rather have my own house where I'm paying my mortgage and I'm paying to own. I am not paying to rent because if I'm renting a house for like $1,000 and I'm just paying rent, what will I benefit? You know, sometimes you have to ask yourself, how am I benefiting from doing that? You see what I mean? Of course, you won't come immediately and buy a house unless you have cash. Now, you want to sell your house. Maybe you believed we did for it in 2 years and you want to sell it. Now, you will sell your house. Of course, it appreciates. Every year you find that when you buy a house, it's going to appreciate. But when you sell the house, remember, let's assume you bought your house at $200,000, right? And then you have paid your mortgage, maybe $1,000 for a whole year, that is $12,000. And you want to sell it, maybe in 1 year or in 2 years. Maybe you paid for 2 years and it's $24,000. So you find that if you bought your house at $2,000 right now, 2 years later, it's going to appreciate a little bit. So what happens when you sell your house, you go to a realtor, they sell your house. When they get that amount, the lump sum that they get, the whole total that they get, what they do, they first of all pay the bank. When they pay the bank, the interest up to that time that you have spent in that house. So they'll charge you the interest for that 2 years. And then the balance that is going to remain is going to be given to you. So there is no, because houses do not depreciate. Houses are not like cars. Cars is a whole different story. Because if you buy a new car like right now and you want to sell it 2 years later, it's gonna be a lower price. It's not gonna be like it's not gonna appreciate. But houses always appreciate. So the little that you had paid, you're going to get your balance, but they have to clear with the bank first. So that's how that one goes. And then we have Vincent Arvin. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to Vincent. And thank you for that. I like your explanation. Thank you. That is Adija. Thank you too. Caro Burikwa. Hi, Babo. Hello and Merry Christmas. Kasima Edith. Hello, Charity. I want you to be my host now, guys. Let's talk about this hosting thing. I can only host one person at a time. And I need you guys to start networking. Get to know people who live in the US and get to know people who can help. Because now this green card hosting thing is a little bit different from the time as we were winning the green card. Because when we were winning the green card, I do remember we only needed the address from the host. Now this other one is a little bit different because the host needs to send some stuff, some documentation, to say that when that person comes to live in my house, I am able to support them. They will have to send an affidavit. They will have to send another form, a tax form, or they can send maybe there's another form that you send for when you work a whole year. They send you a form, a Sunday piece of paper that you use to file taxes. And you have to be I don't know what I can say, but most people in the US, and you're gonna see that when you come and live in the US, the people who live in the US, not all of them are good. Actually, a highest percentage, I would say that they're bad people. Like we're Africans, and it's a bad thing that I hate about Africans because some of us, we don't even like helping and we don't even want to go an extra mile. So there are some people who do not want to share all that. And it's okay because there is a lot of bad things that happen out there, and it's good to protect your information. It's okay, but sometimes you can be lucky. So it's good to know someone who lives in the US. And when you know someone who lives in the US, start having those, as soon as you win your green card, start having those conversations early so that you see is this person going to host me? Because you find that sometimes you can say so-and-so is in the US, they're going to send me all the documentation. And then not everybody is going to send you those documents. They have to be a US citizen or maybe a permanent resident. That is, they have to be like they are in the system. They're able to pay their taxes. They are upright because those documents, most of them, they come from the government or from the job that you're doing. And you find that if you're not documented right here in the US, then you are not authorized to work. Then you will not be able to send someone those documentation. Because yes, I have a large following, guys. We are going to up to 10,000 subscribers. If I sat here and I told you guys that I'm going to host you, then I would be lying. I can host one person a year, maybe that it's gonna go to like we are going to make what do you call it? Like the way you win the green card, people are gonna vote to see who qualifies. You see what I mean? Because I'm not able to. I can help someone to get a host. Maybe I can talk to my friends and all that. But you find that I cannot be able to be on behalf of everybody, and I like to be honest. And for me, I'm not the kind of person who is going to tell you that you are going to pay me this amount of money so that I get your host. No, I don't do that business because I live in the US and I always look at the money market. I look at the money currency, how it's going. If I look at the Kenya shilling and I compare it to the dollar, it's very, very little. So if someone is coming into the US, I know that most people, it's different, but most people, they don't have the money. You know what I mean? So if I tell you that I'm going to charge 50,000 or 100,000 Kenya shillings so that I can get someone to be host you, then I would not be doing the right thing. That's me. I don't do that. But I say, yes, I can host one person. Yes, I can help one person. Maybe if I get someone who is willing to host them. What about the other number? So that is where you have to start networking, guys. Start getting to know people, guys. You have to get to know people because not everybody is gonna be willing to send you documents. Some people are willing to send you documents, but they are not documented. You know what I mean? They don't have those documents. So know the right people. And I've talked about that since I started my YouTube channel. Because when you know the right people, even if that specific person is not gonna host you, at least maybe they can go an extra mile and get you someone to host them. So it's very, very important for that to have to be in your mind. As soon as you win your green card, not right now, if you have not won your green card, don't think about it. But the moment you win your green card, start thinking about that. But before that, it's good to know people. It's good to look, even, sometimes I was talking to another lady and she was like, some people don't even know about green card. I was like, why? Because what are you watching on, maybe what are you watching on social media? Are you watching something can help you or something that cannot help you? Some of these channels, some of them you can get help. Some of them you're just watching for whatever. So start networking right now, because so that you don't get stranded. Because I don't want to sit here and say that I can host 10 people. I am not able to, because I actually, when you're hosting someone, I have to send my staff to that person that I am hosting to take to the embassy. They have to look at my income and see, am I able to host this person? You see what I mean? That's how it works. So I need you guys to start networking, because every time you come to my channel, I will always tell you the truth. I am not going to tell you something that is incorrect. I'm not going to tell you that I am going to charge you some amount of money so that I can get you a host. I cannot do that, because I know that is wrong. So start networking, guys. Start knowing people who live in the US, people who can help, because there are some good people and there are some people who are not going to help you. You see what I mean? So it's very, very important for you to know that. Okay, hello, Charity. This is Kasima Edith. I've been following you on YouTube. I have a question. Can I get a white guy for marriage when I am in UK, or black to marry their blacks? Now, you can marry anyone. That's what I normally say. There is something called online dating. If you feel like you're comfortable to do online dating, you can do online dating. Those websites are everywhere. But for you can marry anyone. It depends on how aggressive you are to look for a person. So you can marry everybody, anyone that you want. You know your wish. Pray hard, and you get what you get when you ask God honestly. Now, Michael Commisso is asking me, how much are the cheapest cars? Now, when we talk about cars, you can even get a car that is worth $1,000, and you can even get a car that is worth $50,000, $100,000, depends on your pocket. Now, when you're going to buy a car, let's assume you get a car that's even $500, you can get a car for $500. You always look at the mileage, because you don't want to buy a car that is going to stop on the road when you don't have anybody to help you. You don't want to do that. So what my advice is, if you want to buy a car that has lowest mileage, and maybe here if you come here to live in Wichita, if you buy a car that's worth like $10,000, that's going to help you. It's going to help you, and you don't expect that car to stop on the road. And that one you can be financed by a bank to buy that one, and then you'll be paying little by little. But I cannot advise you to go and buy a car that is. There are some people who do that. I'm not saying it's bad. You can be lucky, you go and get a car for $1,000 and it helps you. But they are all odds and everything. There are all kinds of cars, but you look at the car and then you're like, how is it going to help me? Is it going to stop in the highway when I am driving and I don't have anybody to help me? So that's what you look at. But when you come here, your host is going to direct you to the right channel, depending on what you want to buy. Okay, let's see. Sisi watu wa 90s KCC, I don't think tuko kwa data. It's more than 25 years ago. So NEC haina sisi digitally. Carry your stuff, carry your documents, and if you got your certificate from NEC, even if they do not have digital, if they offered that certificate, if they're the one who gave it to you, they have a way to verify it. It doesn't have to be verified digitally. They have a way. They can write a letter from there and say that this is authentic. This is authentic. So, because when you win the green card, that's the first thing that you will have to do. There are some people who win the green card even when they are 40 years old, 50 years old, and they still come to live in the US, and they still have those certificates for NEC. You go back there to NEC. If they gave you that document, they have a way of verifying whether you are in the data or when you're not in the data. They do have that. So I don't think you will have the problem. And I'm going to talk to one. We're going to do another video about how to do all that stuff. Okay. Winnie Benson, hello, Charity. I've been your follower from Githongori, where you come from. Hoping that you'll be our host when we want to 2024. I wish you all the best in winning. Actually, I wish all of you would come and live in the US. I just wish all the best. Janet Joroge, hi Charity. I just joined the show. Welcome and Merry Christmas. Simon, hello ma. What mileage is considered a small mileage? Now, I would say 0 mileage is considered a small mileage. That's what I can say. If you want to go and buy a new car, 0 mileage, that's the best. But when you come in the beginning, you are not going to be able to buy a 0 mileage car. Let me not lie to you. You will not be able to, because you're thinking about renting an apartment. You're thinking about doing other things. So you will go for a cheap car. Maybe you can go to you can even buy maybe a car that has like 50,000 miles or maybe you can even buy a car that is. I remember my first car; it was a red car. I got lucky, very, very lucky, because that car was 15,000 miles, and they sold it to us for like $13,000. So it depends on the make. That is another thing. So if you look, if you go to different shops, you find that you can be able to you look at different cars, and then you can decide. But don't buy a car that is like 200,000 miles. That's that one has gone for very, very many miles, or maybe 150,000. Like for me personally, I wouldn't, even like Anne is living with me. When we go to get her car, because eventually she's gonna get a car, I'm not gonna advise her to go and get a car that is 100,000 mileage, because I don't know. And then another thing, it differs. You can want to buy a car that there are some cars that you can go and they're called salvage. Those are the cars that they have had an accident, and then they have been worked on, and they have been sold. Those are cheaper. And then there are cars that, for example, the car that I drive right now, if I want to take it back to the store and maybe trade it into another car, I can do that. That's a second-hand one. It doesn't have an accident. It doesn't have anything. You find that if someone was advising you to go and buy, would you go for a salvage, or would you go for the one that is second hand? I would prefer you go for the one that is second hand, because the second hand one doesn't have anything that has been changed. You see what I mean? Doesn't have an accident. It might be a little bit more expensive, but it might give you more. It might give you more service than the one that is a salvage, because maybe the salvage had something that was, maybe the engine was changed, or maybe the whatever was changed. Anything was changed that was vital in a car. I don't know so much about cars, but I know like if I wanted to go and buy a car right now, I would not go for a salvage. I would not do that. Or maybe you find there are some websites you can go. You can go to even Facebook Marketplace. Even right now, you guys have Facebook. Go to Facebook Marketplace and start looking. You find that here people, they tend to, sometimes they look at Facebook Marketplace and you go and meet the owner. If the owner is very honest and they want to tell you much about that car, and maybe that car doesn't have an accident. I remember the car that Francis got, his first car. It was a manual. He bought it. He bought it online. He went and met the owner, and it was a really nice car, and he bought it very cheap, and it didn't have a lot of mileage. So there are many ways that you can buy a car, but you have to be here in the US for you to, like, you be taken to this place, you be taken to this place, and then you decide. Because for me, I wouldn't advise someone to go and buy a salvage. There are some people who are going to tell you, go buy the salvage, is cheap or whatever. But you can still get a car that doesn't have an accident, that is good, that maybe is going to be like $80,000. So it depends. And also, like I normally tell you, it depends on the host that you're having. Because if I am driving, if I cannot buy a salvage, then there's no way I'm going to send someone who I'm hosting to buy a salvage. So that's how it is. And I'm not saying the salvage cars are bad. They are good, but it depends on your, your rationale. Like, what are you thinking? What's your thought process? That's how I can say. Okay. Can you please get a Ugandan to interview? This is Michael Komiswa, so that we know how one can do process in case he wins, because Ugandans do not go for interviews in Kenya. Now, I can get one if I do get one, and if I do not, what I can tell you is that when you fill out your application, you normally say the country that you are on. You are in Uganda. You are in wherever that you are. So when you're filling out your DS-260, when you log in, because when you're filling out your DS-260, there is a certain identifier that you have to put in there so that they know that you want the green card, and then you can process with your DS-260. You find that when they send you your 2NL, they tell you like where you are gonna go, and then when you're looking at your selection, when you are selecting the embassy, if your country does not have the embassy, they will give you the nearest country that you can go for your embassy. So that one is no problem. And I normally tell you, like, when you win the green card, everything is laid out there for you. You don't have like to go thinking about, this is where I will go. They will tell you, there will be a selection there of the country that is near you that you can select to go for your interview. So that one is not going to be a problem. And everything is like an exam with answers. That's how a green card is. It's an exam that you're going to do, but you have all the answers because they have provided you all the resources. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. All you need to do is to fulfill what they have asked. So they will have that. They will advise you accordingly. Okay, next, Nkasima Edith is asking, hello Charity, I'm happy to be watching from Uganda. What happens when you find you are selected but you don't have any money to continue the process? Can I sell the green card to someone else? No, you cannot. If you win your green card and you're not able to process, then that's it. You cannot, that's it, is gone. You cannot sell it. You cannot do that. That's fraud. You cannot do that. Because remember, I told you the green card has an identifier. I know that the green card that was filled out, the DV 2024, people were not required to get a passport. But you have entered your name, you have entered your date of birth, and you will be required to enter the information in your birth certificate, or maybe the passport that you get. Remember, your birth certificate has your date of birth, your passport has your date of birth. Those are called identifiers. So if you want to sell it to someone else, you don't have the same date of birth, it's not going to help them. So that's why I normally say that if you have that dream of coming to the US, then you have to have something. You have to have some money, because processing the DV lottery is not free. It takes money. It takes a lot of money, guys, to do it. So if you want to fill out the green card, think about, when I win the green card, where will I get the money? How will I raise the money? But do not sell it to someone else. That is fraud, and that is wrong. It's very, very wrong. You can't do that. You cannot do that. If you don't have money to process it, that's it. Don't even fill out your DS260, because you can do that. And someone else says here, hey, that's impossible. Yeah, it is impossible. You cannot do that. That's fraud. You can't. Okay. All right. Anne is asking, watu wenye wako Gulf na uko single, don't change the country. If Gulf is an advantage, because hakuna watu wengi. Remember, Nairobi embassy is taking for countries, Sudan, Somali, Tizent, and UG. You see, this one is a good thing. And that's why I'm saying you don't really have to change. The only way, maybe if you want to change, you are in the Gulf, is only if you have your family members back at home and you are required to go with them. But if you are there, just go to the nearest embassy. Embassies are the same. You know, the way the Nairobi embassy looks like is the way the embassy in the Gulf looks. It's the same thing. They follow the same process. They follow everything. And that's why I'm telling you, they give you what you need. They tell you, this is, when you go to select the embassy that you're going in, there's a drop down. So select the one that is nearest to you. Because if you want your green card and you don't live in your country anymore, you have been living in another different country for a long time, what is the purpose of going back to your country if you don't have a family that you're going to maybe to process for? Sometimes it doesn't work. So that's a very, very good thing that has told us there. Okay, Marilyn Kada, Merry Christmas, Charity. I'm watching from Kenya, Nairobi. I am your number one follower, joining you in the US soon, God willing, waiting for the visa interview. I am a DV 2023 winner. Congratulations for that, Melanie. And I cannot wait for you in the US. I cannot wait for you to do your process. So it's been 57 minutes. I only have 3 minutes until, actually 2 minutes before I end this live show. And all I can do is wish you a Merry Christmas, guys. Enjoy your Christmas safely. Do not drink and drive. And then when you go to the village, when you go to the village, be nice to those people. Be nice, be humble. You know, I'm telling you guys, when I'm coming to Kenya, because when I finish school, I will arrange to come to Kenya. Some of you might not even recognize me, because, you know, people from the US, they come, they go to Africa, and they pretend that they have forgotten English. No, don't do that when you go to the village. Just be simple, treat those people well, and have a Merry Christmas. Drive safely. Do not drink and drive, enjoy with your family members. At least this year we'll be privileged, because we'll have Anna and her daughter to celebrate Christmas with. It has only been me and my husband and my kids, because we do not have family. So that's one thing that you guys should take advantage of, because when you come to the US, it's a little bit different. And there's not a lot of, most people, when it comes to maybe Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's all about families. And you find that that's one thing that you're gonna miss here when you come here in the US, because unless maybe you have invited your family members, and sometimes it's a little bit hard, getting a visa is hard. So enjoy it to the fullest, because when you come to live in the US, it's gonna be a different story, guys. You might find yourself being just by you and your kids, or maybe if you're single, you'll just find yourself just by yourself. So enjoy your Christmas. I wish you all the best. I'm gonna read the last one here from Anne. DV24 tuna win in Jesus' name. So, guys, I wish you all the best. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, guys. And thank you for joining me for this live show. Continue subscribing, continue sharing. If you have a question, guys, don't hesitate to ask. I will always go back to my comment section, I like to read your comments, and then I just make one video and I answer most of your questions. So, guys, let me read the last comments, and then I am gonna end this live show. 59 minutes, 53 seconds. Much love from Uganda Charity. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you for your time. We appreciate your time spent with us today. So, Merry Christmas, guys. I love you all. Say hi to your family members. Share this information about the Green Card Lottery, and I wish you all the best. When you come to the US, don't forget to say hi, guys, and don't forget you're always welcome to have a show at Charities by Babu USA. So it's been 1 hour. So, guys, I wish you Merry Christmas. Thank you, and God bless you.